Today I decided to run 100% the Survivalists, which means surviving on an island for months, completing every questline, collecting every elemental weapon, and building an army of monkeys. And after all of that, escaping on a massive galleon. But to achieve that, I had to crawl through painful labyrinths, fight ridiculous bosses, and search every inch of the map for 30 hidden lore books and 30 hidden treasures. This game was an insane grindfest, but somehow also a lot of fun. And yes, Jonathan Cunningham, this one's all your fault. And if you enjoy watching people suffer for 100% completion, leave a like, subscribe, because once we reach 10,000 subscribers, I will 100% neon white, which honestly, I'd probably rather not do. But for now, enjoy the journey. And as I start our journey, we just jump right in. I do turn on prompts for now, just to get at least a hint of what I'm supposed to do. I grab the supplies from a broken raft and get to customize your character, so meet Muscular Dave. Dave grabs himself a hand axe and immediately starts chopping away. As I chop until my hand axe breaks, I unlock some new paths in the crafting tree, like the flimsy multi-tool. When I leave the safety of the starting alcove, I earn the Gone Wild achievement. This totem here wants to make a trait, but with a very specific something I do not have. With R, I can place down blueprints that I can finish later once I got the right supplies. So I make the comfy padding and give it to the totem. He grants me a chest, and when I break it open, I get the Totemly Awesome achievement. And of course, some nice supplies, including money and a flimsy axe. I set down a taming bench to hopefully craft later, but first I set up my bed so I can actually save the game. I earned the Paradise Found achievement, and it is daytime. With my flimsy axe, I start bashing down some rocks, but I accidentally hit this bird, and he and all his friends were not having it. For some reason, they do an insane amount of damage, so I have to back off for a bit. I return later though, slay them, and finally break down the rocks, granting me some goddamn pebbles. I keep crafting things, which unlocks me more blueprints. Eventually, I get the hands-on achievement for unlocking all handcraft recipes. I make a campfire which lets me cook foods, but also make charcoal. Leaving your campfire at night is dangerous though, because bats and other creatures love taking a bite out of you. For now, bats are doable, so we grab some wings. I make as much food as I can to expand that crafting tree, and I do the same with the blueprints. Until I spot the almighty crafting bench, and once I craft it, I unlock a whole bunch of new items, including the flimsy axe. After making a crafting bench, the blueprint tree just keeps going. I place down blueprints for the forge and the raft, but I'm nowhere near having enough materials. The next day, I make myself a pickaxe and a shovel to mine a ridiculous amount of stone by punching the ground like a lunatic. And I also find 2 pieces of brimstone, which we'll need for explosives. I built the furnace, and the next day I head out exploring, and I find a message in a bottle. It's a treasure map. We have to open a total of 30 of these, so we need to figure out where it leads. Now, I couldn't find the treasure, but I did find a trapped monkey. I rescue him and give him my bat, earning the This Can Only End Well achievement. And I'm not entirely sure what I thought him, but I also got the Monkey See Monkey Do achievement. I find a diary on a dead man, giving me the Dear Diary achievement. After that insane achievement rain, I find a shrine with a chest, and a little further on, it looks like we're not alone on this island. Apparently, my monkey gathered 5 items in the meantime, because the monkeying around achievement just randomly pops mid-combat. I find another totem requesting a new item and proceed to plunder their villages. While roaming around at night, I fight 2 boars, and holy shit, they deal a lot of damage. But I still somehow manage them. Back at my sandy base, I make a makeshift rug, which unlocks the luxury bedsheet. I also make some wooden slats and earn the Didn't Starve achievement for surviving 127 hours already. Poor Dave. In terms of materials though, he is just doing fine, because we earned the Harvester achievement for harvesting 500 of them. I give my monkey a multi-tool so he can start doing tasks for me, which for some reason also gives me the Request Granted achievement. A little later, I suddenly get notified that a raid is coming up, and I'm not sure if I should worry or not, so I just stay at the camp. While waiting, I earn the Monkey Maker achievement and get enough supplies to fix up the raft. Well, almost, because we're still missing a sail. Oh, and about that raid, what the fuck? I get jumped out of nowhere by the heaviest hitter so far. Luckily, my loot is still recoverable. Once I light up the forge, I can start making stone slabs. That expands into glass sheets. And after glass comes refined gems, glass bowls, and glass bottles. But my main goal right now is finding a way to get metal ingots so we can finally start making some metal nails. But there was also still a mysterious stranger I had to visit at his hot air balloon. So I made my way over there and collected the spyglass. I gave him 3 pieces of rope as well to get the makeshift sail blueprint for our raft. I was able to buy some stuff off of him, including the labyrinth keys, which are going to be very important later on. At least if we want to escape off of this island. I headed toward the next designated area where I met... well, nobody. It looks like a plane crashed here though, and I found some hats for my monkeys. But I also discovered my very first labyrinth. The Lost Labyrinth. Now these labyrinths are not the main ones we need to escape from this island, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. I progressed by pressing 2 switches, then standing on another one and hitting a little emote. That earned me the "How did that work" achievement. I pressed some more switches, opened the next door, and then had to fight through some pretty tough enemies to earn a chest and free another monkey. Inside, I found some metal nails. That's very convenient, and also grabbed the spear. Once back outside, I tested out my new spear, which earned me the Hunter achievement, and then I found another heavily guarded camp where I could trade 2 mud at a totem. Doing that twice got me some extra goodies. Back at base, I did some more crafting and found yet another trapped monkey. I realized that the rug I made earlier is actually needed for a makeshift sail, so I headed back out to collect more fur clumps. I bought enough very cheaply from the trader and also picked up some fruit for the cooking tree, which earned me the Big Spender achievement. Back at base, I made the makeshift sail and attached it to the raft, earning the Sail Away achievement. I made myself a bone club, nearly maxed out my food tree, and then, once again, got raided. This time though, I was prepared and I wiped out every single idiot standing in my way. Looking at my blueprints, I noticed that we can make a teleporter. Ho, now that looks sick. But more important right now are chests, because my storage is full all the time. I first earned the Master Huntsman achievement for already slaying 60 enemies, then loaded up my raft with chests so I can stash loot while exploring and not missing out on anything. Now while doing this, I also earned the Monkey Business achievement. It was time to venture out into the open seas and hopefully find something useful. Using my spyglass, I can now unlock new parts of the map, and eventually I earned the I Am Now an Explorer achievement for discovering a brand new island. And that island was extremely dangerous according to the game, so I decided to skip it for now and explore elsewhere. My eyes were set on reaching the Beastmaster, who was located far, far away from our home base. But as I got closer, I found something else. Something very important. It was the galleon, and it requires 80 planks and 30 metal nails to be repaired, so that's our ticket out of here. Now what I didn't know yet though, is that fixing the hull is only the beginning. We're going to need even more items after that, meaning Dave is nowhere near escaping this island and still has a lot of danger ahead of him. Once I reached the Beastmaster, I obtained her bomb blueprints and got a quest to kill 8 fish. Before I could even think about that, I was attacked by wolves. After dealing with them, I found metal ingots, 32 of them to be exact, and I also found wheat seeds. Now, killing fish isn't going to be easy without proper gear, so I head out to the next quest giver. Getting there was no joke, because a bunch of acid-spitting turtles started damaging my raft. Somehow, I made it there safely, bought some items from him, and picked up a few new quests. At that point, I had to head back to base, because losing all the progress would have been a disaster. Back at home, I finished my entire food tree, earning the Camping Out achievement. I finally made some metal nails, which unlocked some extremely important items, like metal sheets for spears. After that, I crafted a ton of tools because my pickaxe broke during the adventure, and they're not that expensive anyway, so backups won't hurt. I also made a bow with a good amount of arrows to be prepared for the worst, and I prepped some meals, including the ones I needed for the quest. And I was once again off adventuring with metal and gold in mind, and yep, turns out my pickaxe is too weak for gold. Well, I finished the quest anyway, my guy instantly gave me another one, but I honestly couldn't care less. We got a problem ahead. A goddamn ghost pirate's blocking the way, and it's not an easy fight either. Funny enough, the guy drops absolutely nothing, so I gotta love that. I did slaughter my first fish though, earning the Got Any Chips achievement, and then went back to the kind lady who taught me all about the bombs. Because she has more than enough metal on that island. Once I gathered over 100 metal, I stumbled upon my first actual labyrinth, which I still couldn't enter yet. Anyway, with 2 full stacks of metal, I headed back to base. With that amount, I was pretty confident I could finally upgrade my pickaxe. On the way back, this shark decided to mean business, but not as much as me. After playing it slow and safe, I took it down and earned We Didn't Need a Bigger Boat achievement. Back at base, I turned my metal into nails, crafted a metal frame, and made my very first bomb. I also made the sword handle, which let me craft a metal sword dealing 60 damage. I built a sturdy multi-tool, unlocking the metal hinge, and after the metal hinge came the pot, which means more cooking recipes. And now this tree might look small, but the very first recipe is already something I cannot even craft, so this is not going to be easy. I made a metal club, which unlocked one of the most important things so far: lightweight axes. Crafting those, of course, revealed the lightweight pickaxe and the shovel. Once fully lightweighted out, I was finally ready to start collecting some gold. Before that though, I stopped by the Great Trader to sell some stuff, and I finally fixed that damn taming bench. I crafted a pipe component, I made a couple of garden patches, planted my weed seeds, and started growing wheat. Now fully locked and loaded, it was finally time to get some gold. Along the way, I also picked up hardwoods and these glowing rocks. no idea what they're for. I headed back with 77 pieces of gold and crafted gold nails, which lets me make gold sheets. I made the gold frame to finish the forge tree and earning the Forging Ahead achievement, and crafted the golden statue, granting me the Opulent Curio achievement. I quickly checked if it was worth big money at the trader, and no, not really. But for some reason, gold ingots separately sell for 80 bucks. So I bought the Bad Labyrinth key, sold all my gold and glowing rocks, and also picked up the Boar key. We were making good progress, people, and I could only pray for Dave that this momentum would continue. Now, about those elemental weapons I mentioned in the intro. To get all of them, we need to complete every single quest line, and these quest lines can easily be over 20 quests per quest giver. So not a simple task at all. I headed back to the desert though to collect more metal, because apparently 2 stacks was nowhere near enough. I also made a quick stop at the swamp to grab some more cane so I could make some sugar for the pastry recipe. When I made the pastry, I was hoping for the clean water recipe, but no. I did finish my workbench though, well, almost, no achievement yet, because of course there's a second page. I did a bit of questing, about 4 quests total, and after finishing one for the Beastmaster, I was suddenly like, wait, what? Why can I not leave? Oh, okay, yeah, sure, video game. Let's just follow the map, make me lose all my stuff, and force me to reload an old save and do a bunch of things all over again. Oh man, fucking glitches! Anyway, I eventually got back where I was. This time, I could show that I unlocked a backpack upgrade. Well, the blueprint for it. I finished another quest and then plundered a vault, which got me yet another monkey. I had enough resources for the backpack, which gave me 3 extra slots. Yeah, well, it is quite a life changer, trust me. I went back to grinding quests, because trust me, there are way too many of these goddamn things, and there are still 2 more traders to unlock, so each with their own 20 quest chains, you can do the math yourself. I made some good solid progress to the Beastmaster though, including having to defeat an Enraged Stag boss, which honestly was the most challenging fight so far, but after that I took down 3 Venus flytraps and 6 wolves. Then I spent about 20 minutes running around to find those damn wolves that just refused to spawn, so I gave up and went back to the swamp to mine materials. After ransacking it once again, I started working on my next big plan. The teleporter. These things are going to save me an insane amount of time and finally let me abandon that goddamn raft. Now, they're actually very easy to build. The only downside is that you need one on every single island, so I made 4 more gold frames and set out to build teleporters on the remaining islands. Hardwood was still pretty scarce, so I headed back to the swamp to chop down some trees. No problem there, because I placed the teleporter down and did the same at the Beastmaster. Once everything was settled, I still had to go back with my raft, otherwise my loot wouldn't end up at base. And remember when I said I wanted the clean water recipe? Well, I had it the entire time. It wasn't at the cooking pot, it was at the campfire. Yes, I know, I am an idiot. I crafted a pipe component, then a rabbit tranquilizer, and then the luring flute. With those, I built an animal pen, hunted 2 rabbits, and finished the quest. That finally let me properly test out the teleporters. After that, I had to slaughter 6 warthogs, and then fight yet another boss. This time, the pork chop. Basically just a bigger warthog. I took it down, survived the chaos, and finally finished this questline. Only 10 more to go. Once I was prepped, I stepped into the portal, walked over to the labyrinth, and unlocked the door. I'm not gonna lie, my heart was pounding. This is the easiest labyrinth there is, and I still had no clue what to expect. The music inside goes absolutely insane, and the first 2 seconds do not even hold back, but neither do I. The labyrinth branches off in multiple directions, and so does the combat. Because going into one of these without a good handful of food is basically signing your own death sentence. Oh, and to not progress and reach all the items, you need to build bridges, which means you need woods. So yeah, don't forget to bring wood. I fought a huge boss bat. Nothing stronger than we have already faced though, so I took it down. And funnily enough, that kill happens to be number 300, earning me the "This is Sparta!" I free a monkey, opened some insanely sturdy chests packed with crazy gear, gold, and grabbed 4 quartz crystals and a metal frame, which I don't really give a shit about. But most importantly, we get the storm map, the first of the 4 parts we need for the galleon, unlocking the At Last achievement. I'll come back later for the extra goodies once I can finally finish all the bridges, but for now I head back home. There I unlock another extremely important blueprint, the Deer Tranquilizer. I craft one, and since I'd already collected enough bat wings, I headed back to the Gormand. Better yet, I had enough for the next quest too, and the one after that. And then suddenly he asked for 10 pastries. Yeah, no problem, mate. The next order though is a bit bigger, so I'll leave that on hold. I finished up another storage crate to dump junk in, I built a hatchery to start hatching the parrot egg, and make a water feature just to expand my blueprint tree. Same goes for the refuse pit. With the farming tree completed, I finally decided it's time to visit the collector. Once I stepped foot on this not so safe dodo spitting acid island, I realized that standing on ashes burns my feet, though the consequences of that aren't completely clear to me. This island has gemstone ores. What are they used for? No idea. Anyway, I make it to the collector, and his very first quest is already a roadblock, because I don't have either of the required items. I fixed up my teleporter though, returned to my raft, and immediately head to the volcanic island to meet the salesman, our final quest giver. Even though this island is easily the most dangerous one, the salesman turns out to be the easiest quest giver by far. All he wants from us is to build specific structures. Of course, I placed out another teleporter back at base, the paired egg hatches, granting me the paired pet and giving me an 8% movement speed boost. Now, I started building everything the salesman wants, and by everything, I mean every single quest in his entire quest line. Beating these is technically easy, because every time I build something, I can just break it down and it still counts. Basically, if you can build it once, you can build it infinitely. That said, it's still insanely time consuming. I had to build fortress level amount of deployables. This guy did not hold back. Even though most things only need to be built once, I sometimes didn't have the right materials and had to go out of my way to find them. Finishing this guy's questline alone took a little over 3.5 hours. It was absolute fucking nonsense. But once I finally did it, I obtained the dragon egg, placed it in my hatchery, and over at the hot air balloon trader I was able to buy both the ice sword and the fire sword, our first 2 elemental weapons. Now I checked back in on the rest of my quest and continued working with my man the gourmand. Things went smoothly, passing the fish and fruit pie and the meat pie extravaganza. After that my dragon egg hatched. This unlocked the dragon pet, which deals 7 burning damage every 1.5 seconds. Sadly I had to trade him in for my parrot, but just look at that dude. You can't blame me. I expanded my crop plots a bit and already had my next big plan in mind. That plan is the next labyrinth. And this time I felt no fear, because these elemental weapons should make it a breeze. And well, it did. Combat was absolutely no struggle. I got a little lost, carving the same path about 4 times, but eventually found my way around. Fought a big chunky hog, got a tranquilizer, freed a monkey and opened the chests, which had some decent loot. I also got a new trinket slot and some emerald crystals. Oh, and I cannot forget the on-point achievement for obtaining the compass. Back at base I went to the air balloon dude to buy the next backpack upgrade blueprint. I didn't have enough materials yet, but I needed cat pelts, and I also needed to kill cats for a quest. Why not quickly slaughter some cats? After finishing that quest I attempted the backpack upgrade from 25 slots to, well, nothing. I couldn't make the big one yet, because I didn't have enough cloth and I missed a piece for the smaller one. Oh well, time to quickly kill 5 warthogs and 6 wolves. Warthogs? No problem. Wolves? Once again, absolute chaos. They just wouldn't spawn, so I improvised, sold some gemstones, bought the next labyrinth key, and finally got that backpack expansion. 4 new slots, baby. And is that 6 gourmet pies in my bag? Yep, I crafted them all thanks to the massive crop lots. The next quest? Well, don't make me laugh. Of course I finished that one too. But before I got to it, I earned the overcooked achievement. Then I had to make 6 marinated steaks for one of the last gourmet quests. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, but we did it. Just 1 more quest left, and it was in a small order. Chocolate pies and cake. Seemed pretty small, right? But they're extremely expensive to make. To get more cacao, I had to plant a cacao tree. So I had to wait for that to grow. I went hunting for some snapping turtles for one of the collector's quests. Found plenty of seafoam conches and other goodies, but the fortune conch just wouldn't drop. While searching, I earned the Lore Man achievement for finding 50 lore books. Well, we're halfway there. I found the gold pawn show, gave to the collector, and finished the next quest. And the next, but nowhere near the next one. Because now I had to start collecting bugs. Yep, welcome to Animal Crossing. I quickly made the final blueprint item, the bone trap, which granted me the structural integrity achievement. Made 2 insect nets, went out to hunt 2 swamp dragonflies and 2 volcanic dragonflies. Surprisingly, it was easy and didn't take long. Then came the beetle quest. I could fill a raptor and pterodactyl in one go, but the stegosaurus part still had to be hunted in the swamp. This took ages. And now by ages, I mean my sword was breaking, my food was gone, and I had been searching for an hour and a half straight, losing my mind. I eventually gave up and took a mental health day. We will get back on this later, because it's pretty time consuming. After a little sleepy weepy break, I was back into the swamp, still miserable because all I was doing was hunting one specific skull. I tapped over to the biggest goat I've ever seen from the Netherlands, Respawn Gaming. Sad he doesn't make videos anymore, but he's helped me a ton on this journey. Anyway, he knows his stuff, and he tells me I can also find the skull in the Badlands. So I head there. Still no skull after an hour. At least I completed the Beastmaster quest along the way, which meant I had to fight the dire wolf boss. Of course, it fucking destroyed me. The Beastmaster gives a swamp quest, so back there I go. Finish the quest, still no skull, back to the Badlands again because I clearly hate myself, and there it was! Right beside a plant. The pterodactyl skull. Finally in my possession. Honestly, I couldn't even celebrate even though I just did. Wait, no. The pterodactyl! No! I was hunting the stegosaurus skull. I was searching for the wrong skull. I had lost everything. 4 hours of searching. Completely mental. I spotted another batch of bones. This one wasn't ordinary. I ran, grabbed it, deposited at base, and finished one quest after another. Snapped a quick picture, finally delivering the late mask officially close to the collector questline. We start hatching the fog sack, and I'm stoked to say we're finally pushing toward the end game. Bought 2 new elemental weapons, the earth pickaxe and the earth club, and grabbed the backpack 31 slots of blueprint. This completed my crafting bench and earning the Getting Crafty achievement. I also bought the mysterious chest, which will be useful for the multiplayer achievements later on. So it was time to kill 2 more panthers, take out some snapping turtles, and then complete the next labyrinth. This one was just exciting as all the others. We plundered a bunch of nonsense and fought the big dodo boss. Of course, I earned the tranquilizer, rescued a monkey, got some topaz crystals, and grabbed the figurehead, giving me the heading home achievement. To get the next key, I needed 10,000 gold, so I sold a shit ton of gemstones and bought the key to head over to the last labyrinth. But first I opened the egg, which gave me the fox patch with a 4% chance to deal double damage. I'll just keep my dragon, if you don't mind. Making my way to the final labyrinth. It really wasn't much harder than the others. The real challenge was finding the exit. It wasn't big, it was massive. I spent a lot of time down there, but after defeating the extremely powerful bloodlusty tiger, I got another monkey, some loot, and most importantly, the final piece for the galleon. Real lucky achievement, baby. Back at base, I finished the taming bench. No achievements, but that's fine. I fixed up my elemental arsenal and went off to finish the last few quests. First, I defeated the not-so-almighty Razor Maw, and then because I spent 4 hours hunting skulls earlier, I had grown enough crops to finally finish the Gourmand questline, earning the panda egg. For the final Beastmaster questlines, it was mostly slaying, and more of that not-so-thrilling slaying. Then, it was finally time for the last fight against Mittens. Holy shit. I was weak against her. She spread my booty cheeks like it was nothing. Luckily, her HP stayed the same. My loot stayed safe, and we still killed her. With that, every single questline was finally completed. I headed to the hot air balloon to buy the wind axe, fire spear, wind spear, and ice pickaxe, unlocking the It's Elementary achievement, one of the hardest in the game. With the wind axe, I started chopping down the entire forest because it was finally time to build the galleon. And when I say it requires a shit ton of items, yeah, I wasn't lying. We need 45 rope, 120 wood planks, 21 wooden rods, 2 hinges, 50 nails, 15 gold nails, and 15 raft sails. Yeah, no joke, but you know what video you're watching, and you know we're built different. While gathering resources and waiting for crafting, I hunted more treasure chests for the At Your Bequest achievement, and searched for one final lore book for the I Am the Lore achievement. Now, I got the I Am the Lore achievement pretty quickly, but finding 10 more treasure chests, absolutely miserable. Eventually, I decided to almost completely buy out the Mystery Trader token shop, because of course the game loves to tease. Come on, man, let me just buy the last couple of things, man. Come on. I chucked a slow cooked stew, an elixir, and a bottle of clean water to stack 3 different buffs, earning the Totally Buff achievement. I went back to chopping trees for the absolute stupid amount of wood I needed for those 120 planks, while keeping my eyes peeled for treasure chests, still needing 6 more. To my surprise, before even getting an insane amount of wood, I found enough treasure maps to unlock the At Your Bequest achievement. Now all that's left was rebuilding the galleon and getting off this island. Well, at least what's left for the solo playthrough. Everything was going smoothly until, yep, name one video game where this doesn't happen. My game crashed. Luckily, I only lost about 8 minutes of progress. Including the crash, it took me about 25 minutes to gather all the materials for the galleon. Not too crazy of a grind. I took everything with me, stepped on the raft one last time, and arrived at the galleon. I placed the planks and nails, had one of my monkeys start crafting, and then more planks, a hinge, nails, and more of the same nonsense. One monkey building a galleon takes about 2 to 3 minutes per item. So yes, I sat there for roughly 25 minutes listening to a monkey smack a ship. Once it was finally finished though, we earned the real escapist achievement and escaped the island with my monkeys on board, heading home. Oh, what? The monkeys betrayed me! What? Damn you, scallywags! Looks like we're back on the raft. The credits roll, which as usual, I do not give a flying fuck about. We get teleported back into the game, but there's nothing left to do on the island. So it's time for online. And hopefully not get kicked. The first server instantly earned me the Just Visiting achievement, and then I got kicked. What a fucking surprise. The next server though was amazing, super chill. They just let me play. I earned the Home and Away achievement by building a blueprint and then went to the hot air balloon to buy a labyrinth key they didn't own yet. I made my way back and got kicked again. You have got to be kidding me. No other servers were available, so I was low-key screwed, but still had Chin Y to try. Why put your shit on public if you're just going to kick people anyway, Chin Y? But there was one more unnamed server, with just one guy. You can guess what happened. I joined the same server again, so you probably didn't guess that. I already bought the key on that one, so I ran through the labyrinth faster than the Flash. And I beat it, earning this She Chose Down achievement. Still not being kicked, I rushed one last quest by killing 8 fish and went to the Beastmaster to finish the final achievement. Then I didn't pop. Shit. Wait, why? Okay. Oh, you need to find a treasure though. A treasure map. You need to finish a treasure map. Okay, that's no problem. So I scoured the area looking for just one more hidden treasure, but it didn't take long until the Better Together achievement is ours, boys. Let's go! At almost 5:30 in the morning, I had completed 100% of the Survivalists in 25 hours. Which, honestly, I am really proud of, considering most sites recommend how long to beat? 48 hours? Oh, this is why you should subscribe. But anyway, there you have it. Every single achievement obtainable in the Survivalists. Thank you, Jonathan Cunningham, for the wonderful recommendation. Definitely a game you shouldn't miss. Even with its flaws, this is without a doubt a 100% I can recommend to anyone, especially if you have friends. Anyway, I do not have friends, but I do have you, so hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.